Yo, what's up, everybody? This is Ken Site doing another segment of Victory Sundays. If you know anything about Victory Sundays, I could talk about football, baseball, hockey, any type of sport. Because if you know anything about me, I love sports. And this is an opportunity for me to give y'all the most raw and uncut filtered version of me. And if you've been living underneath a rock lately, y'all, if you I actually been living underneath a rock myself. I actually missed out on it like last week. But Jackson Dart he actually hosted Donald Trump. He actually was the person that he led out Donald Trump in his rally, and he got some backlash from it, particularly from his teammate Abdul Carter, who they actually both was picked in the same draft in the first round last year. And Abdul Carter wasn't feeling it. He actually posted on Twitter. I forgot what he tweeted, but he said he wasn't feeling it. And then like they had a press conference about it. They was making a big commotion about it, and I think it was not, and I'm not gonna say it wasn't warranted, but this is my thoughts on it. I feel like Abdul Carter, he has his right to feel how he feel, and then also Jackson Dart, like even though like I don't rock with what he did, he has his right to feel how he feel, because like at the end of the day, when you look at it, these are two different guys, y'all. Like one guy's from Utah, then other guys from, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Abdul Carter is from Philadelphia, if I'm not mistaken. He's Muslim, and y'all know, like I said, Utah. Come on now, y'all know y'all know what the hell going on in Utah. Ain't no niggas out in Utah. The only nigga we know out, oops, I mean, ain't no brothers out in Utah. The only brothers we know out in Utah is NBA YoungBoy. But yeah, man, being honest with you, like I said, I I agree with Abdul Carter, but I feel like as as a teammate, he could have probably handled it a little bit better. Now I don't know if he's spoken about it in private first before he did it, but I felt like he could have said, like other people said, like, "Yo, we don't rock with that." You feel me? But instead of just posting it on Twitter, but they said like they had a discussion about it and they talked about it. And then also, man, like as a former high school football player, even as a football coach, I know like there's cliques and stuff like that, and I know like particularly like certain kind of people don't rock with certain kind of people, but you keep the main thing. And I think that's the biggest thing about football. Like, yo, like there's going to be different coaches, there's going to be different ideas about certain things, but as long as things don't get too far, like as far as racial criticism and stuff like that, just keep the main thing to maintain. Hey, we gotta do that in a work environment, because I know there's certain things I hear at work that I just let it be what it is. I just be like, you know what? As long as it's not nothing racially profiled, I just keep it P. You feel me? But on to the next topic. If you've been not living under a rock lately, there was a bunch of NFL trades, and two particular I just want to talk about. I want to talk about the Myles Garrett big trade. Boom, explosion, and then the AJ Brown trade. Myles Garrett was traded for what's his name, Verse, and a first round 2027 first round draft pick, and a 2028 second round draft pick, and then a 2029 third round draft pick. And something crazy about that pick, if he get traded again to the AFC North, what I read, it'll actually turn to a first round draft pick. So cool. He actually got traded for, technically could be possibly three first round draft picks. But AJ Brown was traded for what, a 2028 first round draft pick, and then uh then next year's 2027 fifth round draft pick. They saying it's the Patriots highest fifth round draft pick. Whoop de doo. But to me, I feel like the Rams got the better end of the trade, just because like I feel like the defensive end has a bigger effect on the game than a receiver. Like, I'm not gonna say that what's the quarterback name? Drake May, he hasn't taken that next step, but we gotta see if he's gonna take that next step again, and see like if he's going to explode till he take that next level. Now, like it could be like one of them next, like quarterback and receiver duos, where it's like it's a take off with them young quarterback. Like, I'm thinking about the Bills with Stephon Diggs, and damn, I'm drawing a blank with a quarterback, but you know what I'm talking about. That 2 years ago MVP. But yeah, it could be just like one of those situations, like where a young quarterback, gets a veteran receiver and he helps explode, helps him take his game to the next level. Or it could just be like, hey, like how things rocked out with the Eagles, because I'm not a huge fan, I'm being honest with y'all, of Drake May, but we'll see. But like I said, Myles Garrett, I feel like that was the better trade, just because like for the fact that, like, yo, defensive end is not an independent position. Like, all you gotta do is, depending on like who you going up against. Like, and I think they said like the Rams defensive line is stacked. So there's gonna be a lot of times where Myles Garrett get a lot of one-on-ones, and then particularly like they're going to be playing with the lead anyway. So he's going to be getting them sacks. He might even go for his own sack record. We don't never know. But on to the last and final topic. If you've been living under the rock lately, the New York Knicks actually won the last game by 10, beating the Spurs in the finals. So like I had told y'all before, I think if the Knicks had won, I think they was gonna win the series by 6. You know what? I'm sticking to it. I think the Knicks gonna win in 6 just because I just think like this series is giving me like that feel of just like like Magic versus Rockets feel. OKC versus Miami Heat series when the OKC took on the big three. It just give me that feeling like where's a young team is playing in the finals, playing in the finals compared to a veteran team is playing in the finals, where the games like they're gonna be a lot more closer, they're gonna be a lot more tighter. And I feel like by the Knicks being the veteran team, like when the games get tight, I feel like big people like the big game Brunson and them, they're just gonna step up to the plate, and it's gonna make the Spurs, play a little bit tighter. Because me personally, I don't think like, and I told one of my OGs this, I don't think like the Spurs had a tough murderer's row that we think they had in the Western Conference. Because when you look at it, yeah, Portland was Portland. We don't care about that. But Timberwolves was injured because Denver Vinjo, whatever his name is, he tore his Achilles. And then when you look at it, OKC, Jalen Williams, he was out with a hamstring. So it's just like they played some horrible teams. We gotta be realistic about it. We don't talk about that too much, but yeah, they didn't play. It ain't like they played a murderous West that we thought they would have, and a lot of them games outside, I think like the WOT and in a little bit, but in a little bit of the Game 7, for the most part, they haven't been as battle tested as you would like, and that's in my opinion. But I think the Knicks, I think like they've been battle tested from previous years. I think like they're ready. This is their moment, and I think they're gonna win in 6. Heck, if they win another game, because like I said, I shoot on Fridays. But if they win another game in San Antonio, I think this could go into like 4 to 5 games. But this is my prediction. Like I said, Knicks in 6. And with all that is being said, yo, this is Kevin Sykes, and I'm out this bitch.